Hello, this is my software drives hardware project from Young Kwang. The required operating system for Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, which is my first software, would be Windows XP or higher. The required RAM is 512 MB or megabytes, and the required chip or the processor speed is 2 GHz of Intel Pentium 4 or equivalent processor. The needed video card is a 128 megabyte Direct 3D compatible video card and a DirectX 9.0 compatible driver to run the visuals of the game. And to specify on the DirectX, a DirectX 9.0C, which is usually included in the previously mentioned package, would suffice. Now to run the audio or the sounds of the game, an audio card of DirectX 8.1 compatible sound card would suffice. To insert the game and to install it, a drive type of 8X DVD-ROM drive would be necessary. As for the hard drive, you would need at least 4.6 gigabytes of free hard disk space. And this is a software that would like it now. The next software is Fallout 3. Fallout 3 requires at least Windows XP or Vista and needs at least 1 GB system RAM for XP and 2 GB system RAM for Vista. To run it, you would need at least 2.4 GHz Intel Pentium 4 or equivalent processor and a DirectX 9.0C compliant video card with 256 megabytes of RAM NVIDIA 6800 or better, or ATI-X 850 or better. To install the game, you need around 5.6 gigabytes, and this is a software that would like it now. The next software is DragonHome, or DragonHome Dictate Naturally Speaking. The needed CPU is a minimum of 1 GHz Intel Pentium or equivalent AMD processor, or a 1.66 GHz Intel Atom processor. The needed processor cache is at the minimum 512, but the site recommends 2 megabytes. Free hard disk space is at least 2.5 gigabytes for this software, but that number is bumped up to 2.8 for localized non-English versions. Supported operating systems include Microsoft Windows 7, 32-bit and 64-bit, Microsoft Windows Vista Service Pack 1 and Service Pack 2, 32-bit and 64-bit, and Microsoft Windows XP Service Pack 2 and 3, 32-bit only, and Windows Server 2003 and 2008. Service Pack 1, 2, R2, 32-bit, and 64-bit. The minimum RAM is 1 GB for Windows XP and Windows Vista, and 2 GB for Windows 7 and Windows Server 2003 and 2008. The Dell Inspiron 15R is a computer with the specs that can hold all three of these softwares. The laptop is fully customizable in the Dell website, so it's pretty much up to the user to create the machine of his or her dreams. However, all of those options are compatible with Elder Scrolls Oblivion, Fallout 3, and DragonHome. Sample specs would include Windows 7 Home, one of the most basic versions of currently the best Windows OS out there, and a second generation Intel Core i5 2430M processor, which has 2.4 GHz and with Turbo Boost 2.0 up to 3.00 GHz. To bump up the OS, a genuine Windows 7 Home Premium 64-bit, the English version, would also work with the softwares. The Dell Inspiron can also have 640 gigabytes of hard disk space, which is ample for all three of those softwares. The computer also has a 15.6 high definition 720p LED display with True Life, which can render all three of those softwares in the best visuals needed for the user. As for the random access memory, it has 6 gigabytes of DDR SD-RAM, which is enough for all three systems and to support them when the support is needed.